Hey YouTube, how you doing? Biggie here, how's everything? And welcome to another movie review. Today's movie review, I'm going to be reviewing, if you remember in the last video, I reviewed the hit 1980 film, The Blues Brothers. Well, today I'm going to be reviewing something like that. It's the sequel, but it's not the same, unfortunately, without John Belushi. John Belushi passed away 2 years after this film, The Blues Brothers, was released. May he rest in peace. But I'm going to be reviewing its sequel today, called Blues Brothers 2000. Yep, Blues Brothers 2000 was released in early 1998 by Universal Pictures, just like the other one, and it's directed, we all know, by John Landis. And he also wrote the screenplay for this film alongside Dan Aykroyd, both whom were also producers and starring. This was starring Dan Aykroyd right there, reprising his role as Elmwood Blues, and it's the sequel to the 1980 film Blues Brothers. And John Goodman is Mighty Mac McTeer. He replaces John Belushi in this. He did pretty good in this, but nowhere near as good. I hate to say nowhere near as good as John Belushi in this, but I love John Goodman and everything. I think he's a great actor. But anyway, Elmwood Blues gets out of prison, and then he finds out his brother Jake has passed away. Also, I wanted to mention in the beginning of this film, after the Universal Pictures logo, this movie was a memory dedicated to Cab Calloway, John Candy, and John Belushi. And Elmwood finds out his brother Jake has passed away and the band members have scattered. And he's embarking on a new mission from God alongside a 10-year-old orphan and a bartender. Elmwood, he reforms the van to compete in a Louisiana Battle of the Bands. And the plot of this film, the setup, after he served an 18-year prison sentence for all like the damage of the police cars and the craziness in the first movie, Elmwood Blues, played by Dan Aykroyd, he's released after, that's when I mentioned his brother Jake Blues and their mentor Curtis, who was played by Cab Calloway in the first film, passed away. However, Mother Mary Stigmata, played by Kathleen Freeman, she introduces Elmwood to a young mischievous orphan named Buster right here, played by J. Evan Bonifant or whatever, whom she urges Elmwood to mentor. Him to mentor. Elmwood also discovers Curtis had a illegitimate son, Cable Chamberlain, played by Joe Morton, who was an uptight commander in the Illinois State Police, state trooper. After Cable rejects Elmwood's invitation to join the reformed band, Buster steals Cable's wallet, proving Elmwood the money to buy a new Bluesmobile and hit the road. And then the journey starts is when Elmwood and Buster set out to track the original band members who have since moved on to various jobs. Along the way, they recruit Mac McTeer, played by John Goodman, a local bartender and R&B singer who assumes the new role as a new brother. Elmwood's goal is to drive to Louisiana to participate in a massive Battle of the Bands competition. However, the Blues Brothers face intense pursuit from three opposing factions: the Russian Mafia, an extremist white militia group, and the police, led in part by the angry Cable Chamberlain, who is out to arrest them, but Chamberlain eventually turns out to be he joins the band in the movie eventually in the movie and the climax of this film. Also, I wanted to mention Chamberlain had a before he started joining the band, when the scene where he's in the church thing lifted up in the sky and he's like, and where it changes him from the state trooper uniform to the suit and tie like they're wearing in this picture. He goes with his partner named what was her partner, played by partner Lieutenant Elizonato, played by Nia Peeples or Peeples, whatever her name is. I had a crush on her in this, even in music, yeah. But anyway, she did a good job in this film too, and the climax and resolution of this film was, despite evading their pursuers through various musical escapades and chaotic chases, the band reaches Louisiana only to discover the villains have nefarious schemes regarding the competition's prize money. The film culminates in a massive all-star musical performance featuring legends like B.B. King, Eric Clapton, and James Brown. Elwood and his crew managed to outsmart the Russian mafia and the militia, successfully escaping the authorities to give Jake a proper musical tribute with their earnings. Eventually, yeah. And also, the band came back in this, and this also has other musical guests in this film, like Isaac Hayes, Billy Preston, Lou Rawls, Paul Shaffer, country music singer Travis Tritt, Jimmy Vaughn, Willie Weeks, Steve Winwood, Aretha Franklin, even the 90s rock band Blues Traveler, yeah, and Sam Moore and a bunch of others. They all did pretty good in this, especially the band, the Blues Brothers band, which came back in this. Like I mentioned, Steve Colonel Cropper, Donald Duck Dunn, Murph Dunn, Willie Too Big Hall, Tom Bones Malone, Lou Marini, Matt Guitar Murphy, and Alan Mr. Fabulous Rubin. Yeah. But, however, this movie would grossed $32 million at the box office. It was a box office bomb on a budget of over $30 million. It was a good movie, but it was okay, not bad at all. But I still prefer this over this one a little bit. But it's not a bad movie. It's not bad at all, but it's not boring either. It's okay. It has a 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb, a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 48% on Metacritic, which could have been a little bit better, but in my opinion, you can't beat the original one. But especially this one's not the same without John Belushi. Yeah. Other than that, I enjoyed both films, but I still recommend you check out Blues Brothers 2 at 2000 as well, if you've never seen it. And if you've never seen the Blues Brothers, check both of them out today. Yeah. All right, YouTube. Nice seeing you. Take it easy, be safe, and stay out of trouble. Peace.